How compassion changes your brain and why it feels so good. Have you ever helped someone, held a door, listened when they were having a rough day, paid for a stranger's coffee, and then noticed something weird? You felt lighter, calmer, almost proud, but in a quiet way. No applause, no Instagram post, just a warm feeling in your chest that stuck around longer than you expected. That's not your imagination. That's your brain changing. Today, we're talking about how compassion literally rewires your brain, why being kind makes you feel stronger, not weaker, and why some of the most confident, resilient people you know are also the most compassionate. And stick with me till the end, because there's one surprising truth about compassion that most people get completely wrong. Let's start simple. Most of us think compassion is just being nice, smiling, saying kind words, letting someone go first in line even when you're already late. But compassion is deeper than that. Compassion is when you notice someone's pain and instead of ignoring it, mocking it, or rushing past it, you respond with understanding. And the moment you do that, your brain lights up. Seriously. When you act with compassion, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. These are the same chemicals linked to trust, connection, and feeling safe. It's like your brain saying, "Hey, this is good for us. Let's do more of this." That's why compassion feels rewarding, not because you're trying to be a hero, but because your brain is literally wired to support it. Here's a real-life example. Imagine you're having a bad day. Traffic was awful, your phone battery is dying, someone ate the food you were saving in the fridge. Then you see a coworker who looks stressed. They mess up a task that affects you. Old reaction, get annoyed, complain, internally write a 3-paragraph rant in your head. But instead, you pause and say, "Hey, you good? You look overwhelmed." They explain what's going on. You help them fix it. Now notice what happens next. Your stress goes down, your anger fades, and weirdly, your bad day doesn't feel so heavy anymore. That's compassion changing your brain in real time. One of the biggest things compassion does is calm your nervous system. When you're angry, anxious, or defensive, your brain is in survival mode. It's scanning for threats. Everything feels personal. But compassion flips a switch. It tells your brain, we're safe right now. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, muscles relax. It's the same reason yelling back at someone keeps stress high, but understanding them helps it pass. Compassion doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It means you stop fighting battles your nervous system doesn't need, and your brain thanks you for it. Now here's something interesting. The more compassion you practice, the stronger certain brain areas become, especially the ones linked to emotional regulation and empathy. Think of it like going to the gym. The first time you lift a weight, it feels heavy. Your arms shake. You question your life choices. But over time, you get stronger. Compassion works the same way. At first, being understanding feels hard. It takes effort. You might think, they don't deserve my kindness. But with practice, compassion becomes automatic. And that's when your brain changes. You react less. You recover faster. You don't spiral as easily. That's emotional strength, not weakness. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think compassion is only for others. But one of the biggest brain changes happens when you practice compassion toward yourself. Think about how you talk to yourself after messing up. Do you say, "Wow, I'm so stupid, I always ruin everything"? Or do you say, "Okay, that wasn't great, but I'm learning"? One of those keeps your brain stuck in stress mode. The other helps it grow. Self-compassion reduces shame, it lowers anxiety, and it actually improves motivation. Turns out, beating yourself up doesn't make you better, it just makes you tired. Your brain performs better when it feels supported, even by you. Let's add a little humor here. Imagine your brain is like a confused puppy. Every time you show compassion to someone else or yourself, you're patting the puppy and saying, "Good job, you're safe." Every time you're harsh and critical, you're yelling at the puppy for being a puppy. Which one do you think learns faster? Exactly. Another powerful effect of compassion is connection. Humans are wired for connection. Isolation stresses the brain. Loneliness increases anxiety and depression. Compassion creates bonds. When you listen without interrupting, when you validate someone's feelings, when you show up consistently, your brain strengthens the circuits linked to trust and belonging. And here's the cool part. Your brain doesn't always distinguish between giving and receiving compassion, so when you show it, you benefit too. It's like a 2-for-1 deal your brain absolutely loves. Now, let's talk about something subtle. Compassion changes how you see the world. When your brain is trained in compassion, you start interpreting situations differently. That rude comment? Maybe they're stressed. That mistake? Human error. That awkward moment? No big deal. Instead of assuming the worst, your brain leans towards understanding. That shift alone can reduce so much mental noise. Less overthinking, less resentment, more peace. And yes, more confidence, because you're not constantly bracing for attack. So, how do you start? You don't need to become a saint. You don't need to fix everyone's problems. Just start small. Listen a little longer. Pause before reacting. Be kinder in your self-talk. Each moment of compassion is like a tiny upgrade to your brain's operating system. And over time, those upgrades add up. So here's the truth most people miss. Compassion doesn't make you weak, it makes you resilient. It doesn't drain your energy, it restores it. And it doesn't change the world overnight, but it changes your brain first. And that's a pretty amazing side effect of being human. So the next time you choose understanding over anger, kindness over judgment, or patience over reaction, know this. Your brain is literally becoming calmer, stronger, and healthier. And that's a pretty amazing side effect of being human. Blue.